Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to another stream. So in this stream, we are going to be focusing on some coding, some of the good stuff. Let me jump over to here to the main screen. All right, beautiful. So here we are. So if you didn't see in the last stream, we actually created these areas. So we created a commissary room, we created an interrogations room, and also a charge room. So CEOs can actually charge inmates and stuff like that. We also created a medical room for where the nurse is going to be, for where players get wounded and they got to actually come to the nurse to get healed and stuff like that. But today we're going to be focusing on the spawning system. So let me just quickly speed this bad boy up. We'll go over to here. So we're going to have we're going to create a spawning system, a typical spawning system, and then we're going to have build some cell logic. So there's going to be some triggers in here, which are attached to a player start where the spawn's going to be, and also to the gate, so we can automatically open the gate. So what's going to happen is when you spawn into a server, you'll be allocated a cell if you're a prisoner, and you'll spawn in a certain cell depending on how many players there are. But that's what we're going to be focusing on today. So let's jump straight into it. So we're going to go to blueprints. We need a game instance, game mode, and we'll do a game state as well, just so we got all this stuff. We'll jump straight into it, guys. So game state base, or game states match based multiplayer. I don't know which one it's going to be. What's this? Is that it's a game mode base? It might be a game state base, maybe. I'm not sure. We're just going to do the game state base. We can change it. So game state, game states, game state base, blueprint, game state. All right, we've got that. Let's jump over to the, shout out to the two watching on YouTube and the one on Twitch. So we'll go over to here. We'll go to blueprints, characters, player, and we'll do a player state as well. Might as well do a player HUD while we're at it, a player state. Okay, player state, blueprint, player state. All right, we've got that. We might as well do a player HUD, just so we've got all this stuff. VP player HUD, or just a HUD, HUD. So there we go. Player HUD, blueprint, player HUD. Let's jump over to the game mode, make sure all that good stuff's in there. So we'll quickly just, don't worry about these OCD fixes, actually. We probably won't worry about it. What's taking so long? Okay. So we can go to, now we can go to the game mode and add all this good stuff. So player states, player HUD, player controller, what? Player controller. Oh, that's a spectate controller. Oh, I haven't seen these ones before in a spectator class. All right. The game session, game states. All right, that should be all of us. How you doing, Tombstone, mate? Welcome to the stream. So we got that. So we got the good stuff happening today, guys. So we're gonna need this open to do a standard player spawning system. But what I might do is we'll call this. We'll do the first 3, so we'll give 3 spawns to the whatchamacallit. So we'll go player start 1. Because these are going to be the CO spawns, but what we'll do is we'll put them down here. We'll just put them down here. So shift and we can go like, where's the middle? 1, 2, 1, 2. Where's the middle at? The middle's there, I think. No, the middle will be here. Is that a 0 somewhere? No. Okay, let's just call that the middle. Man, this is way too fast. Okay, so we'll just call that the middle. Wait, actually, let's just put it into what's here, 730, we'll get this going to, no, we'll do 100 actually. So there's 1, 2, we'll go like that. So duplicates, bang, bang, bang. Let's player start 2, player start 3, bang, bang, bang. But what we want to do is we want to put some tags so we can determine player start tag. We'll call this CO or COs. All right, and now we can actually get some. So there's multiple ones, but then the ones we make for the players are going to be over there. So let's jump straight into it. The Broken Dev says, "Hey man, seemed like it's coming along nicely." Yes, it definitely is. Look how much we've got done in like 4 days. You know what I mean? We're going to get all the basic coding done today. So we've done heaps in just 4 days. It's the 5th day now. And what I'm going to do for the streams, it's going to be, shout out to the 5 watching on YouTube and the 1 on Twitch, but the streams are going to be Monday to Friday, and then I'm going to take the weekend off, just so I don't burn out, you know what I mean? And it's sort of consistent. And if I do need to take a day off during the week, I'll try and do it on a Wednesday. So it'll be Monday to Friday, if not Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday type of thing. So that's that. But let's jump into the game mode. What do we need first? We might as well... we've got to make a function to find random player start. And we need to get all actors from class, but what we'll do is we'll do it once on begin play. So get all actors of class. These are going to be the player starts. Also, before I forget it, event on. There we go. On. What's his restart player? What? Implemented call event to end restart player. Okay. So which one do we need? On post login. Event on. Maybe the weed models that I made will be used. Yeah, eventually once we get to that stage. Post login, swap player controllers. And then on event on. I don't know what this restart player is. I don't think I've seen that before. Log out. All right, so we might as well get all this stuff done for as well. So we'll go like that. Okay, we need to make an array of this. All player controllers. This is just some standard stuff we need to do for the game mode. So interesting. Okay, we need to make that an array, and then we can go to add. So post login, we'll add the controller like that. And then on swap controllers, it's the same. Okay. And a new play controller, yep. And then a log out. We need to cast to BP play controller. And then we need to remove this bad boy. Remove item, yes. Not index. Beautiful. All right, so that's that done. There's that. So now we've got all play controllers. Now this one's going to be all player starts. What's his name? Start. Player start. Okay. Just so we do this once. You know what I mean? All player starts. All player starts. Beautiful. Let's pump through this. Okay, find random player start. It'll be that, and then we can go to we get the length. Length. Okay. So the length is going to be -1, -1, and then that's how many we got. And then we need to get a we get a copy, I believe. Yeah, and then we get a copy. Get copy. Get a copy of that bad boy. Oh wait, no, we need to do a random integer in range. Random integer in range. This will be that to that, to that. So there's a random integer in range. Now we've got a random player start. We can get the copy of that bad boy. Put that there, and then we can get active transform. I don't know why that happens all the time, man. Get actor transform. Get actor transform. So that's the transform that we want. We can put this in a return. Jam that into there. Call this player start transform. All right, that's us. We wanted a pure function as well. So now we've got a random player start. All right. Let's clean this up a bit. There we go. All right, beautiful. All right, there's our random player start. So now what we want to do is create a function for this. It will be called on the server from the WotC. Now we can go spawn player. It needs to be the player controller, I believe. Player controller. Player controller. Yep. We also can do the class. Player character class. Character to spawn. Better best on Twitch says cool stream, buddy. Like to join. Add me up on Discord. If you look in the bio for on my Twitch, you should see the Discord link. Jump into our Discord or my Discord. So there's that. All right, we got that. Now we can worry about passing some of this stuff through. On the player controller, that's where we want it to happen. Actually, we've got to go to here. We've got to remove this. Okay. Keep that open. Go to blueprints. Shout out to the free watching on YouTube and the one on Twitch. Player controller. So this is where we want the action to happen. Oh, I hate that, man. This is how I can fix it. Watch, ready? Okay. Bit of an OCD fix there. All right, so there we got that. Begin play. Why am I doing this on the begin play? Interesting. And why is it an owning client? Oh, there is owning clients on the controller. Okay. So that we can start getting this stuff. Oh, actually, that'll get called twice. So we should be doing it like this. Get local, because it calls local player is locally controlled. Is locally controlled. Is local player controller. Okay. So this gets called once on the client and also the server. So to narrow it down, because we only want to spawn the actual client or the actual local player controller. So that's why we've got to do that. And then for both clients to work, we need to call the server. We need to make a server function. Owning client, we'll make that, has to be reliable, that one. Custom SRV spawn player. Run that on the server. So this is where we're going to spawn the player from. We've got to pass through this stuff. Player controller. Player controller. And then we need the character to spawn. Character to spawn. Is the player controller. No, player character. Class reference is that we actually need to, we might as well do this in a game. We need to do this couple of things in a game instance and that. So in the game instance, we will need an enum. We'll call it character types or something. Enumerator class types. So bang bang, we'll call it prisoner, and CO. Those are the class types. And now in the game instance, we can have a variable here and go class to spawn. This is where the class types is going to be. So then we can just adjust it here, who we want to spawn as type of thing. But now we need to get this game instant reference and the game mode. And the way we're going to do it is with a blueprint function library. So we can go to here, go to libraries. Is that how you spell libraries? It doesn't look right for some reason. Let me just quickly Google that. Libraries. Okay, that's how you spell it. Now we want a blueprint function library. Function library. Blueprint function library. What? Do we have to like pick a certain one or something? Why can't I click on this? What the fuck? Blueprint function library. Why can't I, what's going on? Okay, render the texture function library. What? Interesting. Is it a blueprint function library? Why can't I, okay, interesting. Is it a blueprint function library or what is it? A core functions. Render to texture. What the fuck? Okay, this is going to be a bit of a pickle. All right, I'll work that out later. So we'll just have to get the stuff here. So we can go to here. What do we need? We need the game mode for this one, and also the game instance. Yep, we need both of them. Why can't I do a blueprint function library, man? One of these has got to have a blueprint function library somewhere. Smart AI. Why can't I do the blueprint function library? That's ridiculous. Okay, that's ridiculous. I don't know why I can't do a blueprint function library. That's ridiculous. Or is it? Oh, blueprint function library. Core. And we can do they start get game mode reference. Okay. Get game mode. What the fuck? Get game mode Okay, I'm assuming this is self. We'll find out anyway. Cast to BP game mode. So we only have to do it once. We'll call this game mode reference. Now we can do a validated get on that bad boy. So we only do this once. So if it's not valid, then we do that. But if it is valid, we can return it. VP game mode. Okay, okay, so bang, bang, bang. Now we can pretty much, let me clean this up a bit. Bit of an OCD thing. All right, so there's game mode reference. Now we can pretty much, what? Is not a blueprint writable. What? Interesting. Okay. Interesting. How you doing, young Jojo, mate? Welcome to the stream. What the fuck's going on here? Self cannot be used in a static function. The fuck, bro? Oh, that's right. Maybe? I don't know what's happening here, man. Game mode. Game mode. The fuck is going on here, man? Interesting. What the fuck is happening here? What could possibly be happening here? Is not blueprint writable. Okay. Let's just fuck all this off for now. I'll work that out later. Libraries. Here, fuck that off. Hopefully it's not going to crash. Okay. Game instance. We're just going to have to do it like this. We're going to have to get the hard references. So player controller. Let's just open a game mode as well. Just so we got it all here. Okay. I don't like the idea of getting these references like this. Get game mode. Cast to blueprint game mode. Should we do it after that? So it's only got called once. Who cares? All right. Now we'll promote this to a variable. Game mode. We'll just call it game mode, whatever. Get game instance. We're going to need this as well. Cast to BP game instance. Game instance. I wanted to do it in the blueprint function library, so it's a lot cleaner. Okay, now we've got these references. But now we only want this to happen once. for the player. I'll do that, and then that's create their UI. Probably create their UI afterwards, and then we've got should have that SRV. But this is where we get this switch, class type, class to spawn, switch, okay, this is where we do 2 of these. So you can either class 1 or 2, and then we can go like this. Do this at the end. So if they're a prisoner, we want to do that. Else if they're a CO, we want to do that. So he's a player character. If they're a prisoner, we want to do male prisoner 1. If they're officer, male officer 1. Okay. Do this as a self. Okay, so there we go. Now we can go to here. And we can pass it through and spawn it on the server. It's on the server, reliable. Hit the game mode. Spawn player. Okay, beautiful. I don't know why that was tripping me out. This is just back to front, this. I don't like that. Oh, shit. Oh, man, it's so hard to grab these things. Okay. Okay, it's cleaner now. They're not going to overlap. All right, so there we go. So now we're spawning there. We can come into here. Now what do we want to do? We want to do controlled pawn. Get controlled pawn. Can do it is valid. So if they're a controlled pawn, like just in case we respawn them, we'll be using this function again. We need to destroy the controlled pawn just in case they got one, so we can give them a new one. And then we spawn actor from class. And this is where we can get to spawn. The owner is, oh wait, we possess it there, okay. So there's that. We can get our random player start. That's where we want it. Okay, it's looking good, looking good. And then we want to possess now. Get play controller, possess. Silent Killer says, hello, can I ask what is a good starter if I want to get into game development? Tutorials, man. Just watch tutorials. If you haven't started yet, learn how to make a movable door, a door that opens and closes, and then you'll start getting introduced to programming and stuff like that, and just keep doing tutorials. Work out what you want to make and then make it. You know, start with just a simple map, and then make a movable door. You know, make it automatic, then make an automatic door, then make one where you interact with the door opens, and then jump onto something else. Like I can't really think of something else that's simple, but just start, man. Just start and keep learning, and just think to yourself that within 1 to 2 years, you're gonna know enough to be able to start making your first game. At least try to start making your first game. So now that should spawn us now. We should theoretically be able to. God, this is killing my life. Okay. I haven't even chosen an engine yet. Well, if you want to make a 2D game, you need to choose what's it called? What's that other engine called? Um, I forget what that other engine is. The major other engine. I can't believe I've forgotten what it is. Unity. So if you want to make a 2D game, you need to use Unity because Unity is good for 2D games and dog shit for 3D games. And it's the opposite for Unreal Engine. If you want to make a 3D game, it's good for Unreal Engine, but if you want to make a 2D game, it's going to be nearly impossible. They're just two different engines made for two different things. Or you can go and use Godot. But if you obviously want to have good looking assets in your game, you need to purchase assets or use free assets, and the best assets are on Unreal Engine. So if you want to make something that's good, I suggest go with Unreal Engine. I'm torn between Unity and Unreal Engine 5. Well, you need to work out what type of game you want to make. If it's a 2D game, you need to use Unity. If it's a 3D game, you need to use Unreal Engine. Godot, I think, is for both of them, and it's a scripting language, but I don't suggest that because if you don't know how to code it, like an actual scripting language or a programming language will overwhelm you. But since there's node based systems in Unity, I believe, and Unreal Engine, you sort of bypass that. You're still coding, but it's more understandable because you're using nodes and stuff like this. You know what I mean? But if you jump straight into coding, it's going to overwhelm you. So I suggest Unreal Engine 5 if you want to make a 3D game and just start making some basic stuff. Make a door that opens and closes, and then I don't know, like work out how to change the character model. And just jump straight into it. That's all I can suggest. So this should be our spawning system ready to go. Actually, we need to do this type of logic. Player start tag. Get player start tag. Okay. Why is it a name for switch? Oh shit. Can we get with tag? Get with tag. I don't know how. I forget how I done this before. Shit. How do I get a
Thanks for the sub.
shout out to Silent Killer for the subscribe on YouTube. Welcome to the channel, mate. Man, I forget how I done this before. We need to get a certain tag. Interesting. There's a certain thing. Return range. I forget how we do that, but we're just not going to worry about that for now. Shit. Oh, how did I do this before? Oh, we're not going to worry about that for now. We're just gonna go and see if we spawn. No, we're not. Oh my goodness. Uh, shit. Interesting. The length -1 because it starts at 0. Then we get a copy of that. We get the actor transform, and that should be good. So it'll be something here. Let's see if that's printing. Okay. Getting called. So that should be running on the server, which it should be. Here. And then we're passing those through. The character to spawn is the player character class. If it's a control, oh, that's right. Here, that's getting fired. Okay, now we should be good. Okay. I can't even control the fucking player now. Access none. Why is this even... Okay. Interesting. Interesting. All right, there's... Shit, then we have to cast back to here. Maybe if we just put it here. I mean, can you go from server to owning client? Okay, shit. The interact scanner's tripping out. Whoa, okay. Interesting. 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 Okay, let's just see if everything's still working when we don't do it this way. Prisoner mail 1. Okay. We just don't have that. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I don't know what's happening here. Getting passed through. We're destroying, if it's got a controlled actor, we destroy it, and then we find a random player start, and then we spawn the character, and then we possess the character. Okay, I don't know what's happening there, so let's jump in. Like that can be fixed later. Ah, shit. Let's fix it up first, so we can see our user interface, because that will fuck shit right up. Uh, All right. And this guy's stuck there now. Oh, wait, no, we're going to make the new spawning system. All right, so I'll work out why that's not working later on. But let's jump straight into the spawning system. So how we're going to do it, we're going to have a shoe allocation system. So this is cell block A. This is where the first one's got to go. So we need to make triggers now. Just I call them triggers, but like it's not essentially a trigger, but it's still a trigger. So blueprint, actor, blueprint, cell trigger. Okay, what do we need? We need a player start and one of these bad boys. BP cell. Let's just do player state, player start, player start, expose, instance editable, and then we need a cell door BP cell. This is editable, expose on spawn. So when we drop this bad boy in, clean that up. So when we go like this, actually, oopsie daisies. Let's get rid of that. We need an actual collision. Box collision. This is going to be the trigger. Interesting. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make a master trigger. How big do we want that? What's it look like? All right, beautiful. Okay. We'll make this a master trigger. Just so we've got a master trigger. Blueprint master trigger. Master trigger, master trigger, master trigger. Okay, boom. Now we can go create a class, BP cell trigger. Put this over to triggers. Now we can have here, player start. Player start. Then we need a cell door. What we're going to do is remove all them. Okay, cell trigger. Instance editable, expose on spawn. Instance editable, expose on spawn. So now when we drop this in here, we've got this, and we can just put a player start there as well. And then for the cell door, we can go like that and go bang, and then we know which cell it is. All right, so we'll do that. But how big do we want this? Well, I think it's 5 maybe. 5. 5. No, it's got to be 3 or something. 3, 3, 3. Oh, fucking hell, mate. I think I remember it was a 4.5. Slightly too big. 4.2. 4.2. 4.2. Make the master trigger this on 10. Just so it goes. No, we'll just reset that. This one can be a 10. Okay, so it's the whole thing. So there we go. That's good enough. It goes below, but you know, what can we do? But there's that. All right. So this shift end. Okay. Trigger 1. Blueprints. Cells. Triggers. Shout out to the 5 watching on YouTube and the 1 on Twitch. Cell trigger. We're going to triggers. All right, so now we can just quickly get all these triggers in, I think. Bang, bang. We're just going to do the 6 and then we can duplicate. Bang, bang, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang, boom. Okay. So we can go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Duplicate. Bang. So this one should be 7. And this one should be 12. Okay. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Duplicate. So this one should be 13. Oh, wow. Ah. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All right, it is in order. Bang. All right. I've got them in order again. So this one should be 19. The first one should be 19. And the last one 24 or 25, whatever it is. So this one should be 6, 12, 18, 19. 24. Okay. So 24 spawn locations. So let's do this. Spawns. Make that the current folder. You can go like that. Click on that, and then we should be able to go like this. Player start. Bang. Player start 1. Shift end. All right. But while we do it, we should go like this. Oh, we'll do that at the end. We'll just get them all down. So there's the player start. Player start 2. Player start 3. One thirty. Okay, so it's a little bit to the right. Player start 4. Just so everything's in order, you know what I mean? Bang. Bang. Actually, what is this? It's a 440. 440. Okay, yeah, alright. So we should be able to copy and paste all these now. That is a 2540, 2540, alright. So now we can go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bang. To where we want it. Where's the start? I'm assuming it's there. Is it? No, we'll just do it there like that. That's where we need it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Duplicates, turn around. And bring this over. I'm assuming that's the center there. We'll just do it there. Why not? Bang. All right. So there we go. So now theoretically, we should go. Oh, wait. I've got to double check it's. We're just not going to. 1, 2, 2. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Duplicates. Bang. Bang. Okay. So there we go. We've got all that. We've got all our spawn points. I mean, which one's the center? There. Okay. There we go. There's all our spawn points. So now what we need to do, we just need to go like this. Tombstone says, just got back. What are we doing? We're doing player spawns location. So I've got a trigger which stores the data of the player start. So I loop through a random trigger and then I spawn them at the player start and open this door, which is pretty much what we've done with the last build. So now I need to go like this and go bang, 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 bang. Why isn't that? Okay, that there, okay. Then the cell door can go booyah, like that. So bang, 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 bang. We need to do the code for the door to open as well. We'll do that just after. So then we'll be able to do a random spawn. Player start, bang. Player start, boom. Player start, bang. Cell door, bang. Player start, boom. Cell door, bang. Shout out to the free watching on YouTube and the one on Twitch. Speaking of the last build, how long do you think it will take to get to where we were before? Definitely not as long as it originally took. Yeah, definitely not as long. It was about 4 months worth of work. So I'm assuming in about 2 to 3 months we'll be back where we are in a much better build. You know, already the map looks so much better. You know what I mean? Way better than it did before. Look, we've got like you know, 3 different levels there. We've got the shoes. We've got a way to get into a maintenance level up here. You know, multiple levels. We've got a much better layout, I think. Much better layout. So where are we? We're at number 3, which is B. Oh, the second one. So not long, couple months, maybe even less, you know, because we're pumping this stuff out right now. We're pumping it out this time, and it's coming out much better too. And of course it will take it won't take as long because there was a lot of messing around before, you know, with the racking and stuff for 3 days. It took me 3 days to get it right. Let's just make sure I did this one. Yeah. Yeah. So this one. Streamlabs said someone posted a link. Finally the bot's working again. Make you great again. So, just give me a second. I got to try and ban this guy, bro. This guy's out of control, mate. I just got to go to kick. Yeah, I should. Yeah, go like this. Yeah, I should. Yeah, ban. Go like this. Okay, he's banned. Ban. Okay. All right. So we're at 11, 12. I don't know what. It's only on Kick that the spammers are. Surely Kick would have done something by now. There's A, B. Just 2 more to go. Shouldn't take a couple of minutes to do. Just a couple of minutes to do this. This is C, A, B, C. Just got to do it all in order, so everything's in order. You know what I mean? So like, so the cells fill up this way: first player, second player, third player, fourth player, sixth player, seventh player, eighth player, or sixth player, seventh, eight, nine, like that. It's uniformed type of thing. Okay. Beautiful. One last one, lucky last, and then we're good to go. We've got our spawning logic. Well, we've got the actors we need to do the spawning logic. We haven't done the logic quite yet, but we will. And off stream, I've got to work out why characters are not spawning, but in general. Should be only 2 more now. Oh, 3 more. 2 more now. Okay, last one. Bang. We don't have to. That's probably the most tedious thing we would have had to do today. But there we go. Bang. All right. So now we're gonna create our own little spawning systems. Actually, interesting. Let's just start doing this logic because I think we're probably not even going to be able to do the spawning logic because the default spawning system is not working. But let's go into this bad boy. Interesting. Oh, okay. Okay, all right. We can make it a master interactable. No, it can't be a master interactable. We should do a blueprint interface. Yeah, we'll do a blueprint interface. Blueprint interface. Cells. Get cell reference. We'll make it more readable. Cell door reference. That's a BP cell. Cell door reference. Blueprint cell. We're probably not even going to use that, but we will. Toggle cell door. BPI cells. Self, just in case we need the reference, which we probably will at one stage, and then we can do a toggle. And this is where we toggle the door. Is door open? Is cell used? Instead of that, we'll do that. Interesting. Yeah, that's how we can determine if it's used. Not Boolean. This just flips it. So if it's false, it'll make it true. If it's true, to make it false, and then we do it like that, and then we just determine which one it is by the branch, and then we do our logic like that. All right, so now we need a timeline. Oh, what the fuck? Timeline. Shout out to the 2 watching on YouTube and 1 on Twitch. Make sure you hit the like button, guys. It goes a long way with helping the streams. Toggle door. We go in here, make it 1 length. We'll call this door. We'll go bang, 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 bang. Put this one at the 0. 0, 0. This one can be 1, 1. 1. The fuck? Okay. Bang, bang, auto. Nice smooth opening and closing. So if its cell is used, yes, we want to open the door. If not, we want to close it. So now all we need to do is call this toggle cell door function. We can do that at lerp. Lerp. Bring that into the alpha. Let's see what type of movement we need. Cell door from 0 to from 0 to 160. 0 to 160. And then we can get this and set relative rotation. Let's save it. Set relative location. Set relative rotation. Set relative rotation. Okay. Updates. Split that and put it on the Z. Alright. I'll add sounds later, but there's that. We can open and close the door now. Oh, we're probably going to have to work out what's going on with this spawning system. Or maybe we can just quickly bypass it and see what happens. Let's work out what's going to happen here. So game mode. What's happening here? What if we change that? I don't think it's going to matter. Maybe it's this. Let's see if it's this. I don't think this is the issue, but it might be. Oh, interesting. I don't think it needs to be the hard reference. Because then we're casting to that. Sorry, phone turned off while downloading. No worries, man. I mean, is that the issue? No, I can't move. Well, fucking why? Ah. I'm assuming it might be this. Might be that timing. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. I don't know what's happening here, man. This is breaking here. Okay. What the fuck? Why am I doing it like that? Oh, shit. um, yeah, we need to get the hard reference for that only. At least that's not happening now. Okay. What the fuck is going on here? I feel like these are probably just fucking shit right up. We're only adding and removing from the array, like... Okay, I don't know why I can't move. Uh, let's just let it run twice, see what happens. Oh, well, I don't know what's going on here. That's a bit of a fucking pickle. Let's make this so I know which one's which. It's not going to matter, it's just a player controller. I have no idea what's going on here. Is that getting like... Yes, we're spawning at it. We're spawning at a... What's he? I don't know what the fuck is happening there, man. Interesting. I should have left those player starts over there. Interesting. We need to figure out what we're doing wrong. We might have to watch a tutorial, make sure we're doing everything right. The old keck dot, mate. Keck dot.
Hey guys, quick
I hope you
interruption
can
here.
hear it.
Before we start the video, I want to thank our 14 patrons that we have already. If you guys like our
We don't want to
about,
know your
how to
Patreons.
set
All
up a
right.
basic multiplayer setup, how you can then assign your game mode to your level, and your game mode contains all
It's
of the other classes that define your logic for your game. And then the last video was about how players actually connect in a multiplayer game. So we looked into the game mode.
on post login, add to a player controller, on swap controllers. On swap controllers, add. And then we cast to the on logout. See, I'm not doing anything wrong here. You can hear it? Alright, sweet. These aren't the issue anyway, so let's okay.
And inside of the game mode, we looked at the on-post login event, the on-swap player controller login, which means if you go from one level to another level while still connected in the same session, then this node got called. And then we looked at event on logout for if a player disconnects. And then what we did is that we stored a reference of all the connected player controllers. So when a player connected here with a player controller object reference, then we basically added that to an array of all player controllers on the game mode so that the game mode has an overview.
Intro, we don't want that.
Okay,
right.
So let's get this started. So first things first, most of you will probably know this section over here. It's called World Settings. If you don't have that panel, you can click here on Window, and then over here
we'll just make sure everything's
Settings
good.
panel. And inside of this panel, you describe the game mode for the level, and the game mode has the classes that define all of the logic for your game. So typically, what beginners would do in our engine, I guess, is that you have a default pawn class here, and you would simply set this to something like third-person character. And then at the moment that you simply hit play, so I do play in editor, then you would just spawn with the character, right? And then what also works is that if you do 2 players here and do a listen server, which means one player is the host and the other one is the client. So then we see that the client is here on the left and it walks around and it's fine. And the server is here on the right, which is also walking around and works fine. But then there is an issue, and that is that, let's say that the character dies, which is very typical in video games. Then well, all we did here is define the default pawn class, and the character cannot spawn again. So because of that reason, we do not want to use this default pawn class. So I recommend always setting it to none, because we want to, with code, ourselves define when the character actually gets spawned. We want to be able to control that for multiple reasons.
Out to
First of all, you might not directly spawn
your
with
tutorials,
your
mate.
when you enter a game world.
Subscribed already.
A countdown or something that actually spawns the character. And the second reason is, of course, that obvious reason. What if your character dies? How
Shout out to the one on YouTube and the one on Twitch.
So what I recommend is in the game mode, which only exists on the server, I recommend that over there we code some stuff so that the player can actually spawn and find some player starts, etc. And then what I recommend is that the player controller, which is you as the player that connects to the session, I recommend that this player controller is the one actually calling those functions that exist on the game mode to spawn the character. So I do not recommend actually coding all of the logic
what I'm
for
doing.
spawning a character inside of the player controller in a multiplayer
environment. Right here, bang. Call it on the server
mode. So since the game mode only exists on the server, I recommend simply coding this type of logic here, and then you also have a central place from where you can spawn characters. So you might not always want to spawn.
I'm pretty much doing exactly what he's going to tell us to do, because there's no other way to do it.
Code this type of logic on the game mode, because then you just have a general place that anyone could communicate to.
I mean, there probably is, but this is the standard way.
Specific to the player controller, which would be specific to certain players. So let's code it on the game mode. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is, well, we want to spawn this character called BP third person character, which is the template character. And to spawn in our engine, you need to spawn at a location. So the first thing that we're going to do is, if we click over here and then go to basic, then you can drag in a player start. And now what we are going to code is that we want to find a player start on which the character can spawn. So if we go over to the game mode, let's go ahead and create a function. A function is pretty much an event. So most of you
Shout
will
out to the
probably
two on
type
YouTube and the one on
custom
Twitch.
event,
We're
and then you would make
trying
an
to work
event,
out
so
what
we
we done
want
wrong.
spawn a player. And then you would code your logic here, but eventually your event graph will get so big that I recommend simply creating a function so it's nice in this panel. And then you can just call that function on the server. So let's go ahead and first of all create a function, and let's call it find random player start. So I used underscores because that's basically how I define things. So I want to find, what do I want to find? A random, what kind of random a player start. And then I'm going to assign a category to this, and I'm going to call this spawning. So first of all, what are we going to code here? Well, random player starts what we want to find. So we're going to type in get all actors of class. And the actor that we want to find in this example is the actor called player start. So here we go, player start.
He's doing this in the game mode, but I'm...
Well, this node is going to find all of the player starts that it can find.
I'm doing it here,
level,
just so we only have to do it once.
To us here as an actor object array.
And this is working, this function is working properly anyway.
Here. So, and then the first thing that we'll do is that, well, we want to know how many there are. So we're going to type in length. Here we go. And this will return the amount of player start it finds. So
and this is just the default one. This is just choosing a random player start. But what we need to do here, instead of just finding a random player start, we need to, you know, get all this the triggers, and then get the transform from the trigger that way. But this is what we just want to be able to spawn. That's what we're trying to do right now.
In this case, it will return 4. And then what we want to do is that we want to get a random one of those 4 that we want to spawn on. So we're going to type in random int in range. Here we go. And then the range is, well, the maximum is 4. And over here,
because it starts from 0, we need to minus 4 down to 3. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3.
And I can show you that like this if you don't understand that. If I have with 0 is the minimum one and it ends at, let's say, 4, then these are 5 options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, that's just standard coding.
Correct this logic.
Computers count from 0 up. They don't start at 1 and go up. They start from 0 and go up. That's just a very universal programming thing.
Is subtract this by 1 to get that 0 count. And then basically what we do here is that we put in 0 over here, and then we get this one over here. So what did I just do? Well, because this is 4, then we basically have 0 to 3, which also gives us 4. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And then,
okay,
then you can get
so
it.
we want to get a random one like that.
And that's like the one.
And then that random one is that we want to spawn at. So how do you do that? Well, then you get a copy. So if you simply type in get, you can get a copy, and you can get a copy at a certain index over here. So if I plug in an array, we will get a random integer out of the length. So let's say it will return 2, and then we just simply get copy 2. So now we have random copy 2, and then this is the guy that we
shouldn't even be worrying about
so
this.
From here, we're gonna
okay.
now if I fetch this function, it looks like this. So it
pure
executes, so the function basically has to get executed like this. But what I rather have is that this function is just a pure function. So if we hit on pure, then basically it just simply returns it without having to be executed. All right, so now that we got this function, we can find any random player starts transform in
That's
our
working because
so
we're spawning at a
Let's
random
close
player
this.
start.
Let's hit compile and save. Now we go on to the next function, which is, let's call it spawn player.
Just
okay, so we want to spawn a
clean.
player. So what do we do first? Well, a player might have a character that he or she already possesses. So first of all, we want to destroy that character. Because let's say that you just want to respawn somewhere. It's just good to have some logic that you at least make sure that you destroy the actor that the player might already have. So the first thing that we need is that we need to know who we are going to be spawning a character for. So we need a player controller reference. We go ahead, type in player controller, then select
standard
object
player
reference,
controller.
and
okay.
let's call this the player controller. Okay, so this is the player controller that we want to spawn for. Now, the first thing that we
I'm
want to do
just
is
putting
that
this
we want
through.
to check if it
He's not
already
doing that.
possesses a character. So we can do get.
So then I can choose it like in
controlled
like
pawn.
before it
So this
spawns.
is the pawn that the character controls, and then we can check, is it valid? So that means, do we actually control a pawn? And then if we do control a pawn, then we are going to destroy the actor. So if I already possess a character, then let's destroy that character that I possess. And if I don't, then let's just continue basically, because then we can just go ahead and spawn my character directly. Then the next thing that we want to do is that we want,
If we work out, if we do everything that he's doing, we'll do the logic and we'll try and spawn in a so
spawn an
we'll do the cell allocation logic and see what
class.
happens there.
And the actor that we want to spawn can be defined over here. So that's the BP third person character. Boom. And then you see what it asks us for. So it asks us for a spawn transform. And here we go. We got this beautiful function with a spawn transform. So this is where we want to spawn. And then keep in mind, we also want to
We did a transform because it's also got the rotation. We need to save the
So
rotation and stuff. So
plug
when you
it in.
spawn back in game, you're facing the right way.
Okay, let's make this a bit nicer.
Or you're at least facing the right way of the
Beautiful.
player
So what do we do
start.
now? If we possess a character, we destroy that guy. If we don't, we just continue, and then we spawn a character.
And then we
here on
possess
random
the
player
pawn.
start. Then the next thing that we want to do is
Not
if you
doing
spawn
anything
a
wrong.
character, it just exists in the world, but
God,
nobody
have
owns
mercy
it.
on
No
us
player
all.
controller can control it. So for that, we need to do something which our engine calls possess it. So if we type in here possess and turn this off, the context sensitive.
Just drag off
then
the
you can
controller
see
to get
here
it, mate.
the possess node. So the character that gets spawned, which is this return value, needs to be possessed by a controller. And who is that controller? Ta-da! That is our player controller over here. So let's rewire this a bit, because this is a bit long like this. And then let's do it like this. All right, perfect. So the player controller that basically calls the spawn character function then possesses this character. And there you go. So now this works, and now we can go ahead and test this out. Now there's two ways that you can go and implement this. First of all, what you could do is on event post login, you could simply call spawn a player, and you could say, okay, spawn a player for this incoming player. That would work.
But I only work on the login once.
Just the same as this works, where you just basically assign a character here and it just spawns on the beginning of the match, and then that's it. But we don't want that. We want the player controller to spawn it when the player controller wants to spawn it. So what we do in this example,
Shout out to the
is
one
that we
watching
go
on YouTube
into
and the one
player
on
controller,
Twitch.
and we want to spawn it on begin play. Now you
On
have
the
to keep
controller.
something in mind, because since the player controller, as I explained in some previous videos in this series, the player controller exists on the server and on the owning client. And that means that this begin play will actually fire twice. And you will now see that if I type in print string, it will say hello.
I think the issue might be on our end
If I then
rather
compile
than
and
this being
save
incorrect.
and play with one player in standalone and click on play, then you will see that it only spawns hello, so it only says hello. But if I spawn here as the server and go play, it will also say hello. But then if I spawn two players, then the client will say hello twice. So now we see hello, hello, hello. And that means that, well, the server obviously only exists on the server and is the server itself, but the client over here spawns. So the server says hello and the client says hello, and then on the client,
Sadly, I must sleep. Have a good night. No
that's
worries,
basically what
Silent
I
Killer,
mean
mate.
with,
See you in the next
and one
stream,
thing I explained
potentially.
in the previous videos,
Have a good night.
The player controller exists on the server and on the client. So what happens here, the server spawns a player controller and fires this begin play once for itself. So that's fine. That guy could now spawn a character for itself using this spawn player function. Let's actually assign this to the spawning category. And the client could do that as well, but be careful, because since it exists on the server and on the client, as we just saw, it will spawn, it will call this function twice if we are not careful. So how do we handle this one? Well, we only want to spawn this function from the local player controller and not the one that exists on the server. So for the server, the local player controller will automatically be this first hello, the server itself. And for the client, it will be client one that says hello.
Okay.
And that middle hello, that one is, and that client one says hello.
He's local
So
player
now
controller.
we have two hellos, which is what we're looking for since we only have two players. So right now we see server hello, and there we go, client says hello. So it only shows two messages now. Let's make this be in the screen a bit longer. So hello, and hello. And that's basically how we can make sure that this doesn't trigger twice. And if you guys ever were confused about why it triggers twice, that is why. Okay, so what do we want to do now that we know that this only gets fired once per player, basically, and the server is also player? Now we want to spawn a
cast to the
player.
game mode
So
and
how do
spawn
we
a
do
player.
that? We do get game mode.
Cast to the game mode.
And then the game mode that we want to get is the blueprint game mode base setup.
Do it on the
It's this one
server,
over
so
here.
it goes on all
So
clients.
from here, we're going to cast
Because-
to the blueprint game mode base setup. And we're going
Because
to
the
plug this in.
listen server will be the server, but the other client wouldn't. So the listen server character would spawn, but the other client won't because it needs to be run on the server. So that's why we run it on the server here and do it that way. We're doing the exact same
Sorry
thing.
guys
like-
if I explain everything.
I've
in
watched
too
it
much
before. This is
detail,
how I
but just wanna
learned
be
how to do
thorough
this.
with these tutorials, you know. Okay, so the game mode here, and then what we want to call in the game mode is spawn a player. So now we can go ahead and we can call spawn player. And then as you see, it asks for a player controller. Well, we are the player controller. So if we type in self, then we spawn a player for ourselves. So what will happen right now if I hit play? Let's test it out. If we hit play right now, this guy on the right, which is the server, gets a character. And this guy on the left,
See,
stuck
this is
in
what
the
I was
floor
saying.
on the 000 position, does not get a character. Why is that?
Because it's
Well,
not calling that
that's
function.
because of my previous lesson. The game mode only exists on the server, and since this is now being called by client 1, the client 1 is not the server, so cannot directly call game mode events that exist on the server. So what we have to do here is very simple. We simply have to make this sure that we call this event on the server. So if you right click and type in custom event and call this SR, which means server, spawn player, then we can make sure that this event is run on the server and is reliable. And this event, we want it to call this logic over here.
This is exactly
So
what I'm
let's do it
doing,
like
bro.
this, and then we want to call this event, so SR spawn player. And
Is it
now
after
we
the
will
local?
see
Yeah.
that the server itself will call this and spawn a player for itself, and client 1 will call this and spawn a player for itself. So let's put it like this, and now it will work. So if we hit play, boom, and boom. So now I can walk
So
around
look,
and see here
so the
close.
issue's on our end. We need to figure out what it is. God, have mercy on us all. Why can't I move? Interesting. I think it might have something to do with this. The controller exists when this gets created. So these hard references should be logical. We might have to change that reference actually. Another fucking kick flop. Kick, do something about this, bro. We're sick of these fucking bots, bro. We're sick of these fucking bots, bro. Bansky, see ya, mate. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, it's got to be... maybe if I... Oh, this is actually... I think I know what's actually happening. So... Yeah, I think I know what's happening. These are getting messed up. All these references are getting messed up. This needs to go into hard references. So we need to reset these. And would they need to be on the server? I don't think so. Let's just do a custom. I think I know what's happening here. Custom events. Custom events. What? Oh, that's inside a function. That's why. Okay, yeah, that's what's happening. Custom events. Reset references. Then we can just go like this and just reset them like that. And then we can go to here and go to get component by class. Then we can go into the references. Then we can go to reset references. Hopefully this is going to be good. Because yeah, that's why the movement's not working. So this should be good, I think. No? Oh, okay. Maybe it needs to run on the server. Make it a reliable SRV. I mean, I don't know. Running out of options here. All right. Let's make sure this is actually going to work properly. Yeah, we'll get the controller. Oh, what? Okay, the character and the controller. Not that that's going to do anything. Yeah. Active components. Hard references. Wait, the active components is just that. Hard references. I don't think this is really gonna fix anything. No, shit. I don't know what's happening here. I have no idea what's happening here, man. What on earth is happening? I have no idea, man. If anyone knows what's happening, let me know. That's working. So this is working, but when we possess, it's not. Oh, that's right. We could do it here, theoretically. On possess. On possess. Oh, I think this is what I had to do last time. So on possess on that pawn, we can. Maybe we do it there. So when it's actually possessed, I mean, it's probably going to do the exact same thing. Let's just do that. Fuck it. See what happens there. Okay. Let's just get rid of this for now. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know what's happening here. I have no idea. I have no idea. We've hit a brick wall. I have no idea what's happening here. I need to figure it out. You know, I just want to be able to like spawn properly. Interesting. I need to work out what's happening. It's the base class. Like what? I mean, not that that was going to do anything. Oh wait. Interesting. I have no idea what's happening. There's something happening, like literally. Let's see if this is the issue. I just sort of work backwards. Oh wait, okay, yeah, none. Why can't I move? What's the go, man? What's like this function's not getting called properly. This is all fucked up here. Character movement. I just want to get that reference. Just so we got the reference. Cast into the base player controller, then we set in the actor components from the owner of the actor. Then we're setting the hard references from the base classes. Fuck me dead, mate. What's going on here? Get this reference as well, which is a hard reference. Just so we got that. Alright. Okay, I don't know what the fuck's going on there. I have no idea what's going on here, guys. It should be working, but it isn't. Like, I just can't move for some reason. I don't know why. Something needs to be reset. These wouldn't have to. The only thing would be these hard references. Because maybe that's destroyed and that's a new reference, and then that's the hard reference to the controller. Ah, that would be incorrect. I think this might work. I think I've got an idea where it might work. Just go like that. So I set the hard references on the server and then go like this. But this will be controlled pawn. Then player controller. All right. I mean, does it really need to happen on the server? I don't think it does. We have an OCD fix. Reset references. Reset references. Oh, AC references. Oh, interesting. Okay. Get component by class. References. Ah. I think this might actually work now. It actually might work now. There's a different controller. Fuck! Interesting. Oh, wait. Shit. Oh, man. Man. Mine. Uh, let's just do this properly. At least all the references are getting set. And on possess. Because if it's a controller, on possess of the controller, interesting. That's going to get called once. It's not even getting fucking called. On repossess. Events. What type of events we got? On unpossess. On possess. On unpossess. On possess. Okay, I'm not doing this right. Let's do it this way. BP player controller. I think I know what's happening now. I think we can do this way. Player controller, and then we get that we can get rid of that for now. We can just do maybe put this on here. Put this here, bang. And then we can put this here. So all that's doing is handling that. This can go here. Let's just see if it's actually going to work. We can see our UI. What's happening here? Okay. Player controller. Okay. Okay, then when this happens, we can I think this actually might work. Then we reset. This wouldn't need to be done. Maybe it does. Oh, I have no idea. We're going for almost 2 hours. We've hit a brick wall now. There's really nothing. We can't progress. We can't progress because what we're trying to do here is try to make a spawning system, but something is happening and I need to work it out. I have no idea. There's definitely something. I think it's got something to do with the possessions, with the controller being possessed and stuff like that. So yeah, that's right. Because look, this is how the process is going to work. I believe. I believe anyway. So once this guy's created, all of the references get created. So that means that the hard references are now incorrect for this. Oh, no, it won't, because it will be now correct. So this is useless. Yeah, it's useless. I think we just need to do it on possess, redo the controller on possess. Oh, shit, man. Okay. Hard references, don't need to do that. Hard references. Hard references. Active components, hard references. We don't need to do that. Let's just fix this up. This. I think it's got to do with this because on possess. That's actually what we'd have to do actually. Component by class. So when it actually possesses, then we need to reset the variables. Because this is how it works. Like once this guy is created, all these references are created, right? So that means this isn't that's gonna fire here because there's no controller yet. So then we need to, on the possess, we need to do this and do set hard references and then set active components. Theoretically. No, this one, we just need to reset the hard references. So theoretically, this is what needs to happen. Yeah, like that. And then, yeah, on the possess. I'm pretty sure this is what we need to do. I'm pretty sure that's what I need to do. So we set the hard references properly. Fucking hell, mate. Okay. So something's happening. So this, the character, the player controller. So that'll be invalid. That'll be a character. So now we should be able to do this properly. There's going to be nothing here though. Ah, interesting. We'd have to do the hard active components as well, because that will get fired here. Then these aren't set. Ah, fuck. So that would need to be set. And then we'll just set that on the possess. So this would still theoretically work, but this won't. So what we need to do is we need to set that there. So the active components are set, but we physically set this. Because that would be set. And this would just be self. Fucking hell. Interesting. Okay. Let's see if we can force this a little bit. Then I'd have to set that as well, would I? It's just a bit of a juggle. It's just a bit of a like, it's got to do with the possessing. I just can't figure it out. With Unreal, do you use a type of AI to help? You know, just no, I don't. I just Google it. Like I'm old school, bro. You know, sometimes AI is good to like get really detailed answer to something, but it's just the logic. So what's happening? Like this guy's firing, then this is firing. That's working. All this is working, but this would actually work. But then it's getting to this one, and this is firing. So there's no player controller now. I think I just figured it out. Yeah, there's going to be a player controller. Shit, I don't know. I have to figure that out. I have to figure it out. It's just yeah, because like, you know, this is firing, or this is all getting created up to this point, not here. That's not created anymore. And then when we possess the player, then this is created. Then on the possess, we should have to set these. Oh, wait, that's a different shit. Alright. Get controller. Cast to player controller. Maybe this is an issue here. And then we can set that player controller like that. And then the player controller will get set, and then we can get the hard reference. So this actually might work now. Oh, fucking hell. Also, is this just a prison game or a prison cops RP type game? It's a multiplayer driven prison role playing game. So you can be a prisoner or you can be a correctional officer. So, you know, prisoners will have certain things they can do, you know, sell, get contraband, sell, make money, make progress, all this type of stuff. Or you can be a CO and you can walk around and just boss around inmates and catch them doing crimes and charging them and all that type of stuff. But we've hit a massive pickle. I need to work out what on earth is going on here. But yeah. Then we set the hard reference. The character. The character is there. Okay, we're getting that. Interesting. I have to figure out what I need to do. It's just a bit of a juggle. It's because of this. Because the character exists before the pawn. Oh, wait, no. Oh, we're fucking done here. Actually, the controller's created off the bat. So this is not what we want to do. So where do we want to call this? Maybe here we can set hard references. Get component. Oh, I think I've just figured it out. It's just the logic behind it. He's not logicking references. And this is where we can set hard references. That's a pawn though. Oh no, it's a character. Play controller here. I think this actually might work now. Set hard references in the reference component. And this is where we set the hard references. We can't really control that until, yeah, let's forget this for now. We'll do it forcing hard references. Yeah, and then we go here and then we can set the hard references. And none of this needs to happen here. This actually might work now, guys. Oh, it's just a bit of a juggle. Just in unique idea alone is compelling. Yeah, it's there really isn't a multiplayer driven prison role playing game that's like 5M, you know. And this is a pretty simple map to create. That's why I'm doing it. There's no outside. It's just an interior. So we're not trying to juggle exterior and interior lighting. You know what I mean? It's a very easy map to make. Look, we've already done about 15 to 20% of the map already. And it's just going to be a simple multiplayer driven game. It's like, the players make the fun. There's going to be voice chat, there's going to be a bunch of CEOs bossing people around, Say you get caught with, say you get searched by a CEO and then they find contraband on you. They literally have to, let me speed this up. They'll literally have to, if they choose to charge her, maybe you can bribe them not to charge her. What they'll do is they'll bring you over to investigations. They'll get you in here. Maybe I can make it so you can sit down on the chair and then he tries to interrogate you. And then once he works out what he's going to charge you with, he'll take you into the charge room. There's going to be a computer on this desk. he'll tell the prisoner to go stand in front of there. He'll access a computer, take a brand new photo, put it into the charge list, and add some charges to him. And then there's going to be a courtroom. So then he can take him to the courtroom, and then they can physically get sentenced. And then what they'll do is they'll get sent to the SHU to do their sentence, and that's how it's going to work. Are you looking to take hands off investments? Are you looking to take hands off investments? What do you mean? Like if someone wants to invest into the game, well, I don't want to do that because I can't guarantee the game's going to actually like come out. Like if I do take investments, it'll be right at the end. Like when I know the game's 100% going to be out type of thing, but the game's going to be free to play. So I don't know what people are going to try and invest in. I'm not going to try and sell my first game that I make. It's just so I can learn how to put a game together that actually works and is fun to play. To gain experience because I want to turn programming, video game programming into a career. So I can maybe my next game when I'm better and maybe we've got a team that we can do something else. Listening to you explain that shows how passionate you are with game dev. Yeah, definitely am, man. I love programming. It's something I really enjoy. Like I said, watching you for a while, and you definitely have the ability. Yeah, definitely. I've been doing programming for 15 years. It's pretty much done the same way across the board. That's why I've learned Unreal Engine fairly quickly. But yeah, that's the idea, just to get a little simple game going. Like, look at that load. Look at the efficiency of this map, bro. Oh, fucking beautiful. All right. But yeah, that's where we are. I think we've hit a brick wall. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. I think this is the point that we need to do it, actually. Because the controller exists, that's right. Fuck. The controller exists, we can't... Oh, wait. Wait. Interesting. This is pretty much the same way. Doing it the same fucking way. I mean... May God have mercy on us all. Let's maybe do it this other way. Because when... Oh, wait, no, because that possess gets fired. Would this get fired twice? Event react to the controller possessing a pawn. Ah, okay. 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 Get component by class. So this is only going to get called when this happens. References. Interesting. And the controller can be self. I mean, if this doesn't work, I have fucking no idea what it could possibly be. Like, interesting. You want a fucking hard reference, do you? May God have mercy on us all. We'll have to cast back to the base, which is hilarious. We're casting backwards, guys. Cast to player controller. It'll work just to make that a hard reference, but fucking, I don't like it. We'll do this. If you think you can finish the game solo, you can 100%. It won't technically be solo because I'll need people to make animations and maybe some 3D models and stuff, custom 3D models. You can 100% do so. If you ever need help financially to keep the project going, I'd be willing to talk about it. I honestly think this is genre will blow up. Yeah, definitely, man. Well, jump into the Discord link in the description on YouTube, and tell me your offer. Maybe you can help buy some assets. Like it's really only going to be like $30 or something for the assets, but I don't know. Come bring me your offer in Discord and we'll talk about it. We can see what happens, but I don't really want to take anything. See, we can't cast backwards. May God have mercy on us all. All right, we're just going to do this one. We're just going to do this one. Player controller. but then we need the normal controller. Fucking hell, bro. I mean, will this work? It's not gonna fucking work. Oh, it is gonna work. Okay. See, it doesn't like that because this is that. Okay. Shit. Oh, interesting. I need to. Yeah, we need to juggle this shit. Yeah, it's just a little bit of thinking of how it's going to work. Yeah, I just need to. I really need to sit there and think about it. But there's no point of just messing around and fucking hitting brick walls non-stop like this. Only if that can actually show you the fucking cut. Unless. Yeah, the issue's not there. The blueprint AC references must have a connection. Oh, okay. And then this is where the issue is going to be here. Shit. Okay, I need to sit down and think about it. I got to go to the toilet anyway. But there's like just over 2 hour live stream. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do the streams from Monday to Friday. So today's Friday in Australia. So I've done a stream every single day this week from Monday to Friday. So that's when the streams are going to be, from Monday to Friday around 10 a.m. Sydney, Australia time. If I do take a day off during the week, it'll probably be on a Wednesday. So it'll be either Monday to Friday or Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And I'm going to take the weekend off just so I don't burn out and I've got 2 days to sort of rest and do whatever I need to do. But that's probably where I'm going to leave this stream, and hopefully I can work out this fucking logic because it's not logicking right now. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on Monday, which is in 2 days. And hopefully this will be done and we'll be able to jump into some more coding.